Good morning, Molly. My name is Bill Marshall, Lexus of Louisville, and I'm here to introduce you to the RX 350, which you had an internet inquiry on. Please allow me to take you around the car to show you firsthand of the different variables of the outside of the car. I will then take you through the inside of the car. First, Molly, I'd like to talk to you about the keyless entry. Very important. The keyless entry, all it requires is the key on you or in your purse, in person. You approach the car, all you have to do is touch the back of the handle and the car will open right up. For convenience purposes, you can also lock the car. There's a little dash on top of the handle and it locks the car. Nice thing about it, you have that option, but you can also do it with your key fob. Now again, another option that's available on the RX. If perchance you leave your keys in the car and you try to lock it, you'll get a long beep. That beep tells you have left your keys in the car, which is pretty common for somebody like myself that leaves them in the cup holder. Walking around the car, I'd like to show you a few things if you would follow me in the video. Starting out the front of the car, LED daytime running lights, HID lights, LED fog lights. It has your spindle grille on the front of it. As we move around the back side of the car, 19-inch wheels, and this is the premium wheel because this is a navigation model. As we move back to the car, you'll also notice underneath the fascia, you won't see it, but we also have the outside wipers for the car. Nice thing about the RX, there's several ways you can open up the trunk. The rear, it's a power rear door release. You can open it from the inside of the car. You can also open it with the key fob, or you can open it as if you go directly down the L. There's a little rubber stamp. You press that, all you have to do is touch it, and the door will automatically open up. As you note, there's also a button on the top up here, and you can close it. As well as you can open it with the key fob, you can close it with a touch of the finger. One other thing of importance that we do like in the RX, you will see on the front and back bumpers that you have park assist. Basically, intuitive park assist. What does that mean? That means basically as you close in on a wall, get within 4 feet, you're going to get inside the car. Not only are you going to get a picture of 4 different dashes and they'll start disappearing as you get closer to that wall, but it will notify you with an alert of a beep how close you're getting. You also have a red line. When you get to that red line, stop. Again, inside the car, open it up. One of the conveniences, I know you have a daughter. Oftentimes that requires strollers. It requires extra bags, diapers, etc. The beauty about it, you can conceal all that with the tonneau cover. At the same time, if you need more room, you can drop the seats with the pull of a handle and they will drop. Back seat with seats up, you have a total of 40 cubic feet. If you drop the seats, you just about double that to 80 cubic feet, so you have a lot. I know you're currently driving an MDX. The MDX only has 17.5 with the seats up, so you can see we've allowed you a lot more space in the vehicle itself. If you come around the side with me, you will note that we can also put up the seats manually, and they can tilt back also at the same time for that resting position. You can also drop them from the side here, so if you're not going into your trunk and you just want to drop one seat for storage, you can do that. Also, please note that inside you have in the armrest, you have storage space and you have 2 cup holders too. That's for the convenience of your guests. I know you travel a lot, you're on the road as an executive, so that becomes very handily. Another thing to point out in comparison to your MDX, the MDX is a fabulous car, but Lexus is a plush, quiet, serene car. The other thing is you have more leg room in the front compared to your MDX. Leg room and headroom, which is important. You exceed that by about 2 inches. In the back seat, leg room, you exceed by about 1 inch. So you do have extra space also at the same time. Now if you would follow me, we'll go in the back. One other point that I'd like to make out, you saw me drop the seats. You do have what we call a 40-20-40 split on those seats. So you can drop either side, you can drop the middle section, so you do have that option. Safety is important. I know it's important. Your daughter is your number one important person in your life. So safety purposes. The RX is rated high, very high, one of the top performers in there. If you look at the sticker on the side, you'll see 5 stars. But you have side beams that go down through the side of the car. You also have steel beams that go across the top of the car into the pillars, which will allow 3.5 times, God forbid, 3.5 times the weight if you would flip over at the same time. You also have crumple zones on the front of the engine. What's nice about that, and again, forbid that you do not get into a head-on collision, that is meant for that hood to go like this rather than to go into you. Also, you'll have the engine on the engine mounts, and they'll drop and go under the car, not into your legs. Safety is huge. The last thing on the that I want to point out in regards to the safety right now, on the inside of the car, for those that have a car seat, you have 2 hooks that are marked by little buttons on the back seat that you hook the car seat in, and then you also have a tether that goes through the headrest and it ties into the back of the RX. Now let me take you inside and introduce you to a little bit of the interior of the car, if I can. Let me start here. You have 3 seat settings. What do the seat settings set? They set your mirror, which is set here. Set your mirror. They set your steering wheel, which is telescopic, by the way, in, out, up, down. And then you have 10-way seats down here, which you can raise, lower, also the back, and then you do have the lumbar support also at the same time. You will note, as we go through the car, the mirrors are meant, if you want, they can come in. Allow me to show you. You'll notice that's the blind spot monitor, but also notice that the mirrors are meant to come in. If you get in that tight spot downtown where the parking is very tight, you can pull in the mirrors. We can set that for you automatically when you turn off the car, or you can do it manually yourself. If you would please look down below, you have a blind spot monitor switch, you have a trunk release, which we talked about earlier, and you can also close the trunk here too at the same time. This would be your gas. And again, I'm going to turn on the blind spot monitor so you can see what it looks like when it comes on. That will show up on both mirrors. And what that does, as a car approaches you to your back left, basically within 20 feet, that'll start blinking. First thing you tend to do is when you put on your blinkers, look in that mirror, and you'll see that car that is approaching you, and you know you're not going to vary from that lane. It will also do immediate lanes on each side of the car. I like that for safety purposes because it keeps you in your lane from drifting in and out also at the same time. Very important, a big safety feature also, and it's been very successful with Lexus. Please follow me, come around to the other side of the car if you would please.